So, imagine that you are an HIV patient, and you have to take a whole cocktail of drugs in order to stay healthy, and one of them is called Daraprim, and it staves off parasitic brain infections. You need to take this drug daily, but all of a sudden one day you wake up and the price of the drug has skyrocketed, and you can no longer afford it. What are you going to do? This seems like a very unethical problem. Obviously, it seems wrong to raise the prices of these drugs. And sometimes it really is just a simple extortion of vulnerable, sick people. However, if we outlaw these kinds of significant price increases, then we ignore the economic climate that the pharmaceutical companies have to endure. And we might actually end up hurting ourselves. So we have a big problem, and that's that developing medicines are extremely expensive. 1 out of every 1,000 drugs that is developed fails, or never makes it to human development or human testing. And what happens is when a new compound is created and it's a promising compound as a drug, the company immediately patents it, and you have 20 years on the patent. And then it might take 10 or 15 years to get the drug developed, and that's if it actually gets to human trials and gets out on the market. So then you might have a period of anywhere from 5 to 10 years where you have to re-earn all the money you spent to develop the drug, and then you also have to re-earn money for all the other hundreds of drugs that failed. So you have to make a lot of money in a short period of time, which can explain why a lot of these drugs are priced so high. Because as soon as the patent expires, other companies can sell it for a much lower price because it's now a generic drug. So, drugs and their development it's just incredibly expensive. So either way, somebody has to pay for it. It could be us, or a lot of people want the federal government to subsidize drug costs, and that's definitely something that can happen, but ultimately the government's biggest source of income are federal taxes, so either way, it's coming out of our pocket. However, if we allow drug prices to be a part of the free market, situations can definitely occur where people are taken advantage of, such as our example with Daraprim, which actually happened in 2015. It was acquired by Turing Pharmaceuticals, and they raised the price 5,500%. And there was a big backlash, even though the CEO said that if he could have, he would have raised it even more. This is clearly unethical, but the thing is, if we cap these kinds of price increases, what we could do is it could backfire against us, because we need drug companies to be able to make that money back, or else they won't have any reason to make new drugs, and scientists won't have any incentive to go and work for these drug companies because there won't be any money in it. So in order to keep the industry that's supposed to keep us healthy, we need to make sure that we're keeping it financially healthy as well. In conclusion, 5 states now have introduced legislation that's supposed to ensure transparency in drug pricing. So drug companies are supposed to reveal explicitly how much it costs to develop their drug, how much it costs to distribute their drug. And this way, people know exactly what they're paying for, and that we're paying for the right things. And hopefully this will keep the industry and us a little more healthy.